So yesterday, the 10th and final episode of Star Trek Lower Deck Season 4 premiered, the episode being Old Friends, New Planet, and this is going to be my review of it. To begin with, I thoroughly enjoyed the episode. It brought to a conclusion the mysterious ship and all the ships that were gone missing, brought that overarching story completed. But that's just the plot. In some ways, you can say it was a bit of a MacGuffin, as the heart of this episode, the heart of Season 4, has been the character story that our characters have been going on. Boimler, learning to be a leader. He does have a pretty good conclusion. I do feel like there might have been a little bit of a jump there, but it does show that his leaders see him as a leader and trust him for that. So that's important. Just kind of wish maybe there was one additional something to build up. Milner especially. A lot of her, I think she has fully realized herself, and her self-destructive tendencies are going to be pretty much a thing of the past. They still probably will show up from time to time, overcoming things like that, mental illness that I suspect is involved in all this. It's going to be something I think Milner is going to struggle with, and I hope they do show that while she's got through the worst of it, she could still have some issues that she still needs to work through. But like the heart of it, the things that she really needed to understand by herself, she made it through, and this episode was showing that especially in light of the last episode, everything that was holding her back is no longer holding her back. And that's was the important thing for her character. With Tindy, sounds like more of what this episode was we got a little bit about her upbringing on Orion. How this next season is actually going to be dealing with that. That's why I think this was setting up for her. Now, she's comfortable in her place in Starfleet. That's clear. But what's going to happen next for her? Because in order to get the day solved, basically, and defeat the Cardinal, I forget his name real quick, is she had to basically agree to her sister that she would return back to the family business, which in Orion's case is being a pirate. How is she going to adjust to that? That's something we got to kind of see. But that's what's set up here. Rutherford, again, not too much for his development, because his development was really more previous seasons, but you can definitely tell he's sad that Tindy is basically leaving to go back to her family. There's going to be that too. And then T'Lyn, her arc, while not substantial, was still finished. Throughout this entire season, it's been made clear to us that she basically wanted to return to her Vulcan ship. But at the end of this episode, her former Vulcan captain is sending a communique to her, probably wanting her back, but she ignores it. She makes that choice that she, basically kind of realizing what's going to be better for her, and probably better for the Federation as a whole, being on a Starfleet ship rather than a Vulcan ship. And there's a bunch of other stuff. Can I just mention that when Locarno is basically issuing his ultimatum, his plan to everyone, it's on a public frequency, so everyone knows what he's doing, and he has a Genesis device. I'm going to get to that back in a moment. But Rutherford and Boimler are basically debating. He looks like Tom Paris. No, he isn't. Rutherford's the one who thinks Locarno looks like Paris, while Boimler is like, no, he doesn't. And I just thought that was hilarious because they're played by the same actor, which is just amazing. And I really did like how they did that because it's just funny. And not to mention a little bit was being resolved with Rutherford and that other engineer, what is his name? Begins with now. Anyhow, but apparently, because they both had ideas on how to repair a ship that they were going to use to ram into the shield that Nakano had. And so, T'Lyn actually had the idea, put them on the hard deck dressed as Mark Twain, and it actually got them to resolve that issue, but apparently they still don't like each other. But apparently, just as Mark Twain, a little bit more. Go figure. But I really did like how basically T'Lyn acknowledged that sometimes illogical solutions or actions can lead to logical outcomes. Basically, she's understanding what it means to be logical better, that not everything is illogical just because it doesn't make sense in the moment. Things like that. Things building off there. And there's a lot of other stuff like that Captain Freeman was willing to disobey orders to rescue Milner and also stop Locarno, but it was obviously to rescue Milner, but the entire ship was in on it. And not to mention, previous season, Milner probably would have sided with Locarno, but what she does here, she basically, when given an opportunity to speak, she says, this guy is nuts, grabs the Genesis device, and runs away and steals the ship. such a Mirono thing to do. But oddly enough, that does nicely parallel to season 1, I think, season 2, where we saw Mirono's excise program, the holodeck, where she was stealing a ship. I'm just saying, I think there could have been some unintentional foreshadowing there. But anyhow, Mirono does a great job basically distracting the Nakano and all that. But what I thinks that scene is she activates the Genesis device because she can't get it away, and thinks that she is rescued by her mother just in time, using the captain's yacht. And by the way, Boimler makes a joke that he doesn't think he ever saw anyone use the captain's yacht before, which I think is hilarious. So that means he doesn't know about the events of Star Trek Insurrection. I'm just saying. But going back to Mirono and all that, eventually the Connor does beam onto the ship, and as Mirono was rescued last moment by her mother. Well, it was right as the Connor was about to shoot her with a phaser, so yeah. And he tries to disable the Genesis device, but the Ferengis have a paywall preventing him from being disarmed, which is just a Ferengi thing. But there's a lot of other things there, like, no, the Connor ship doesn't have any wood paneling or carpeting, like, he's basically all doing this for the ego of himself. He's not actually trying to help the lower deckers of any society like he claims he is. He's doing this for the ego of himself, which is the key. It's his ego, and, well, he ends up getting blown up by the Genesis device, and a new planet is up, which Starfleet decides to name Locarno. Probably a bit more honor than he probably needs given his actions, but they say his molecules are mixed in, and they're going to use it as a planet for refugees, so actually helping people. Locarno wasn't actually helping anyone, but his mistake, his ego, brought him to defeat, but Starfleet is still going to use that to help people, which is such a perfect Starfleet thing to do. But that is where I'm going to end my review. There's a lot more other fun elements we can discuss, but you know what? That's what the comment section is for, so I hope to hear your thoughts down there. And of course, thank you for watching, and as always, have a good day, a good night, wherever you are. Live long and prosper. Thank you for watching this video. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to give this video a like, as well as subscribe to my channel and ring that bell to stay up to date on my latest content. Also, be sure to check out the link tree in the description, as well as any other links I have down there.